Well, hello and welcome from a bright and sunny London. I say that because the sun is shining brightly. It's 6:30 p.m. In India, but early in the afternoon here. But predicting the weather in England is a tough task. With me is Sunil Gavaskar. Sunil, what is easier, predicting a winner of a test match or predicting the weather in London?
I think both difficult because the weather is what can change the complexion of the game. But that's the challenge of playing in England, particularly in the month of June, where it can suddenly become overcast and start a little bit of a drizzle, which can change the entire situation, grip of the ball, movement in the air, off the surface. So no, difficult to predict both.
Okay, but I'm going to press him to pick a winner at least, but that's coming up a little later in the show. But I've been here the 2 days because we were talking about the weather. One day it was nice, bright and sunny. The other day it was very cold. It's match day -1, so just 1 day to go for the final of the World Test Championship. But anyway, before I delve into what the two captains said on the eve of the game, is it fair to say the two best teams right now in Test cricket are playing the final?
Definitely, no question about it. Both the teams have had top-class performances over the last couple of years, because that's the cycle we're looking at from June 2021 to June 2023, and both teams have had good wins at home as well as overseas. India has had really top-class wins. Australia, of course, were top of the table and had qualified, and it was just a matter of whether it was going to be Sri Lanka or India, and then with New Zealand beating Sri Lanka at home, Sri Lanka were out. So yes, I think the two best teams and top teams are in the finals.
Okay, we're going to speak to Mr. Gavaskar, ask him to pick India's playing 11, what the combination should be and which team has the edge at the moment. The one thing that everyone's been talking about, we heard from legends like Ravi Shastri, from Ricky Ponting, from Ross Taylor, Ian Bell. Everyone was asked to pick their favourite. Everyone, and in fact I'd say most of them, have given Australia the edge based on the conditions, because they're of the opinion that the conditions in England more closer to what you get in Australia than what you get in India. Otherwise, not much to choose between the two teams, but the conditions favour Australia. That's why a slight edge to Australia. If I was to ask you, which team would you give the edge to?
I'd give the edge to India, not because I'm an Indian. I don't agree with this belief that the conditions favour Australia or are similar to Australia. In what way are they similar? Where does it, apart from Melbourne, where you have 4 seasons in a day, where else do you get these kind of conditions? Sydney, Brisbane, Perth, you name it, everywhere. It's Adelaide. It's all hot, just like in India. So I don't see that being a special advantage to the Australians. Neither the fact that some of the Australians have been resting is going to be an advantage, because look, in a big match you need to have miles under your feet. Whether it is batting or bowling, you need to have run between the wickets, you need to have run in and bowled, and I think most of the Indian players have done that. The one player who was not in the IPL, Cheteshwar Pujara, he was playing in county cricket and scoring centuries for fun. So I do believe that the Indians definitely are in a better position. The Indian batters are in very good form. The bowlers, Shami Siraj at the top, have been in excellent rhythm. And so also Ashwin and Jadeja, who would be my pick in the playing 11, both the spinners. So I think India, unless of course, in cricket things can go wrong, but at the moment, before the first ball is bowled, India are my favourites. Not by much, but they are the favourites.
Okay, we're going to talk about the 11 because he alluded to who his spinners are going to be, whether India will play with the 2 spinners or not a little later. But anyway, because you spoke about that one factor, which is the differentiator right now, you can look at it both ways. India, yes, they have miles as far as the kind of cricket that they've played. They were playing in the IPL. Australia coming off an off season, majority of the players. Of course, you had the 2 in Smith and Labuschagne playing county cricket, just as you had Pujara playing county cricket for India. But which one do you think is a better position? Because I understand your point of view of saying played a lot of cricket, but it's a different format, people will argue. You're coming from white ball cricket, different sort of an approach, different sort of conditions, different colour of the ball, whereas Australians probably have been practicing a lot with red ball. So how do you see this?
Good players at this level, it doesn't make a difference to them at all, because it's just it's a mental adjustment more than anything else. the fast bowlers will know that they have to bowl a slightly fuller length than the hard length that they bowled in the IPL, because the slightly fuller length is likely to get the edges. The spinners also know that instead of trying to bowl under the bat, they'll have to bowl the good length and try and get the ball to turn. So these are all adjustments they've got to make mentally. And all our bowlers are very experienced. Mohammad Siraj has been playing now for 3-4 years. Shami has been around for about 7-8 years. Ashwin and Jadeja have also been playing for years. So as far as these top 4 bowlers that we are looking to get the 20 Australian wickets, they're experienced and they'll know how to bowl. As far as the batters are concerned, you've got Pujara, who's been in form over here in county cricket. Kohli has been in outstanding form, outstanding touch. Gill has been in superb touch. So they all have the confidence and they know that what they have to do in England is, rather than looking to meet the ball early like they do in T20 cricket, because you've got to try and get towards the ball and just bang it away, they're going to play, meet the ball late.
Okay.
Allowing the ball to do its bit and then play. And I think that's just a mental adjustment, and these players are very experienced and they should be able to do it.
Okay. The other big factor is going to be the conditions. We've spoken about it, but the ground in question is the Oval. Now, in the history of the Oval cricket ground, you've never had a test match in June. So they've had test matches in July, they've had test matches in August, never in June. The other thing also that plays on the minds of the players is the conditions of the ground and memories of the ground. Now, if India were to pick one ground in England, probably they would have picked the Oval because of the great record that India has had here over the years. Sunil Gavaskar with us, fond memories that he will have of the Oval ground. Of course, remember India's first ever win on English soil came at this particular ground. Sunil Gavaskar's double 100. That was a close test match. Probably, if luck would have played a part, they would have won that particular test match as well. But from this current bunch of players, the last test match that India played at the Oval, they won that. All of that will be on their minds?
Of course. Rohit Sharma got 100, his first overseas 100 at the Oval. Before that, I think they were. I mean, I know Pant is not there, Rahul is not there, but they have, batted well at the Oval. So where the ball comes onto the bat quite nicely. There is a little bit for the quicker bowlers at the start, where the ball is hard and new, but the ball comes onto the bat quite nicely. So clearly, it works to our advantage. As you said, this has been one of India's favourite grounds. On the other hand, if you look at the records, you'll find that Australia in about 140 years has won at the Oval maybe twice.
Yeah.
So it tells you, and if they couldn't win in the month of say August and September, for them to win in June will mean that India will have to play really badly.
Okay. The other point, which again you alluded to, is the guys that India are missing at the moment. Because when you talk about conditions, and when the argument was made that the conditions here are going to favour or are closer to Australia, many others pointed out that fine, if there are conditions closer to Australia, India have gone to Australia and won the last 2 series. If the conditions are going to be like England, India came here, were leading 2-1 before they went back. So even if the conditions are favourable to the Australian or like Australia, it is something that will work in India's favour. Having said that, there are a few personnel that are not there. Likes of Jasprit Bumrah, his name comes to my mind. The other one, Rishabh Pant, and these are the 2 players that were, game changers for India. Shreyas Iyer also has been contributing in the test arena for India. They're not there. Does that then change the complexion of the game?
To an extent, yes. Not having Bumrah at the top will make a difference, because then now we are looking for the third seam bowler, whether it should be a Shardul Thakur, whether it should be Umesh Yadav, or it should be the left-handed Jaydev Unadkat. I think that's going to be something which the think tank will take a call on. But if Jasprit had been around, then you would have obviously had the 2 Mohammad Siraj, Mohammad Shami as 1, 2, 3. And again, depending on the conditions, whether they go in with an extra seam bowler or the extra spinner. So yes, I think he would be missed, but I think even more will be Rishabh Pant, because Rishabh Pant has been a game changer. Rishabh Pant is, look, as far as the Australians are concerned, there are 3 batters that they are very wary of. One is of course Cheteshwar Pujara, because he just hangs in there, he tires their bowlers out, and then he scores runs. So there's Kohli, who loves to play against the Australian attack. And then there is Rishabh Pant, who's been a game changer, down at number 6 or 5, comes in, bangs the ball around and changes the game completely. So yes, I think Rishabh Pant will probably be missed more than anybody else.
Now I've saved the best for last, which is picking the Indian 11. Firstly, I'll break it down. Let's talk about the keeper. Who's your wicket keeper? Ishan Kishan, KS Bharat, and why?
I would go in for KS Bharat because he's been the incumbent wicketkeeper for some time, and I would imagine therefore that he deserves a place ahead of Ishan Kishan.
Now to the spinners. Are you looking that India play 2 spinners? Because I know they made the mistake last time in Southampton for the WTC, but if there is a ground in England where you can play 2 spinners, I was listening to Ian Bell the other day, he said, over first innings you may not need that second spinner, but second innings you'll definitely be looking for the second spinner. What do you make of it? 2 spinners, 1 spinner.
2 of your best bowlers. They are 2 of your best bowlers, so they have to play. Both of them, if you look at the ICC rankings, they are in the top 2,
yes.
Numbers 1 and 2. I mean, how can you drop both of them? You can't drop the number 1 and 2 in batting, would you? So why drop numbers 1 and 2? Irrespective of the pitch, I think we sometimes get a little too carried away with all these theories about, this pitch, etc., etc. The 2 best bowlers, have to play. And in my book, those 2 are the best, so both have to play.
Okay, so that is Jadeja Ashwin play. That now leaves us with the spot for 3 fast bowlers. Who are your 3 fast bowlers?
Mohammad Shami, Mohammad Siraj are automatic picks. It's a matter of who you pick in as your third seam bowler. If Rishabh Pant had been around at batting at number 6, then I would have gone with Ajaydev Unadkat as the third bowler, adding the left-handed variety. But because we don't have a number 6 of Rishabh Pant batting at number 6, and so where Jadeja and Ashwin 7-8, and because Bharat has not quite shown us his batting ability, I would like to maybe have a little more depth in the batting order. So I would look at Shardul Thakur. But if they don't want to pick Shardul Thakur, I would like the left-handed Jaydev Unadkat.
What are the reasons that you would omit Umesh Yadav? Maybe the conditions, maybe he's more of hit the deck
just
bowler.
For the variety. There are 2 similar kind of bowlers in Mohammad Shami, Mohammad Siraj. Just for the left-handed variety of Unadkat. Unadkat has shown, over the years, the experience that he's garnered, getting the ball to swing. We gave him an opportunity in Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, he was impressive.
Yes.
On pitches like that, where he was impressive. He used his height to good effect, got the surprised the ball with the bouncer. And so with all the variety that he has, he could get you wickets as well.
All right, Zangi, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for giving us company, helping us set up this big final. The time for talking is over. The time for action now. Remember, India are playing their second WTC final, so they'd want to correct all the mistakes that they may have made last time around and then put a better foot forward this time. That's all that we have for you on this special broadcast. But here's a reminder, we'll be coming live every day before the game. That is 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon, and then post the game once the day's play is over at 11 p.m. every night. So we'll see you then. For the moment, this is Nikhil Naz signing off.